After Tom's first session, it was very clear that everybody here at the conference wanted to go to his next session. So much so that it was standing room only. I was dragging in chairs. I mean, people were sitting on the floor. They were willing to be uncomfortable in order to hear what he had to say.
Time, money, their skills, expertise, their influence. They can be mission ambassadors, and they can tell about the great news that Variety is doing. And when they're telling the great news that Variety is doing, they're influencing people. And when they're influencing people, that means more what? More time, money, skills, and expertise to your organization.
The very first time that I actually heard Tom, I was not in his session, I was in the session next door, which was very quiet and very cerebral. And from next door, I heard this fantastic speaker that was getting everyone to laugh and yell and cheer, and I wanted to know what that was.
His energy ignites everyone, and I've never attended 3 sessions from the same speaker at a conference before, and I just went in and saved a seat at Tom's next session.
One of my favorite things to do is to bring my donors to my facility because I wanted them to meet my staff. I wanted them to meet Kara and Katie because they were amazing.
When you're looking to plan a conference or to facilitate some strategic planning, whatever it may be, you've got a lot of options out there. And all of them bring something unique and special to the table. But what Tom brings, I think, is the perspective of someone who's done the work. He's started nonprofits. He's been the person facilitating major gifts. He's been the philanthropist. He's been in the for-profit sector as well. I think he brings a unique breadth of experience. Your attendees will have a great time, they'll have fun, they'll be energized, but most importantly, they'll walk away with practical tips and knowledge that they can take back to their offices and implement right away.
As a presenter, Tom has a lot of enthusiasm. He comes up and he delivers with passion. And I'm sitting quietly in the audience watching him, and I was thinking, I love his energy level, I love his enthusiasm, I love his excitement. And you get carried away and swept away with the tsunami of excitement that he has. He obviously knows his stuff, and he delivers it with conviction, and that is what is interesting.
He was extremely engaging. He was also very informative, and what he presented was very practical. I left with things that I could take and use tomorrow.
What about you?
I loved how we worked together in groups. Every time we did a different group interaction, the energy in the room came up and up, and it was very balanced.
I appreciated that Tom's style was more about being a facilitator and having us generate our own ideas and our own thought processes more than just about him speaking to us.
Tom's vibe as a facilitator is super comfortable, right? So when you walk into the room with Tom, he's engaging with people. He specifically calls out certain individuals. It's a very relatable conversation. It's not about somebody standing behind a podium spouting out, facts and figures, because nobody's going to listen to that. They want to hear from somebody who is genuine.
You are always adding or subtracting to your brand. Every action that you have, every communication, when you meet them in person, to meet them and have this indelible first impression, because it's in the first 30 seconds that someone's already branded you.
I've been a conference planner in the past myself for large national conferences, and trying to vet speakers and trying to figure out who's going to be good, who's going to resonate with our audience, who's going to bring a balance of knowledge, practical experience, intelligence, humor, who's going to bring all of those things together. I know how hard that is, and if you're doing that and you're making that decision, please let me put your mind at rest. Tom is a perfect fit. My biggest piece of advice is put him in a big room, because after his first session, everyone's going to be cramming into his room.
And when you're back up in your group, I want you to say, "We're ready to go," as loud as you can. Right there, one sheet.
Oh, look, take them all. Is he taking them all?
Tom came to our forum. He was extremely value added, and he really took our forum up to another level, another notch. The participants that we had over 500 participants at the Sarkeys Southwest Leadership Forum, and they all were very excited about Tom, and we're going to definitely have to have him back again.
The yoga beforehand was a lot of fun, and you don't go to workshops and actually get a quiz. And so I'm sitting there and I get a quiz in front of me. There was one to do alone and then another to do with the group, and that goes back to what I said earlier, being an introvert, having to break out of my shell and actually getting to know the people beside me, because that's something you typically don't do. You don't get to know the person in the next chair. So that was really cool.
And I want you to kind of creatively think or share some ways that you have personalized or could personalize or say thank you differently, so we can share it with the group and learn together. All right? You have a couple minutes. Go.
Doing things and talking with our neighbor and sharing, and so it's an exciting type of style, and that's good. That keeps us up and engaged and interested.
Wandering around outside of the sessions, people are still talking about the specific examples Tom gives and the tips that he provides to people in the sessions, which is really unusual. And it was great to hear that energy continue outside of the session.
The book has 30 different examples of how your board and people in your organization and volunteers and donors can get dialed in to the fundraising efforts of your organization without having to ask for money.
We felt a lot safer because of the humor and the fun and the energy. It created a safe environment where we could explore all of our thoughts and ideas.
Here's another metaphor, like a social investment advisor. They're making social investments in your organization, and they expect a social return, and they want to know what that impact is.
His energy is endless.
Tom does differently than other speakers is he really breaks it down, and you have genuine takeaway content that you can implement and get immediate results.
He was so engaging. He was really genuine. He evoked responses out of the participants and made everyone feel like they were really awake and alive.
I want you to write this down so hard that it goes through the last page and actually goes onto the tablecloth. Ow!
And he made himself available to anybody afterwards that had questions, that wanted to take the conversation a little bit further.
If you're thinking about hiring Tom, sign on the dotted line right now. He will pack out the session